Magic the Gathering is a game that features a vast and continuous multiverse of stories set across countless planes that incorporates numerous themes. One of those themes is horror. With the beginning of October, so begins our countdown to Halloween. 30 days, 30 decks, 30 different creatures of the night, all culminating with a special 31st episode on Halloween Day itself. For those of you with a profound fascination of the macabre, I invite you to join me on this venture through 30 days of night. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm MTG Budget Brew, and welcome to episode 15 of our 30 Days of Night. We're now midway through this series, and I thought to myself, what better creature for the halfway point than a creature that's half man and half wolf? Tonight, we finally play werewolves. The four rares that we're running in today's deck are 3 copies of Tovolar, Dire Overlord, and 1 copy of Avabruck Caretaker. Tovolar is 1 red and a green for a 3/3 human werewolf that says, whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night, then transform any number of human werewolves you control. Tovolar then transforms into the Midnight Scourge. It is a 4/4 werewolf that says whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then it has an activated ability for X, a red, and a green that says target wolf or werewolf you control gets +X/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. A lot of the creatures that we're running today feature the day and night mechanic, and day says if a player casts no spells during their own turn, it becomes night next turn. And night says if a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day next turn. So for all of our creatures that transform, if it is day, you will use the front side of the card, and if it becomes night, they transform to the back side of the card. I was really not a fan of this mechanic when it first came out, but that's just because playing with physical cards makes this really annoying because you really need to pay attention to how many spells people are casting. And also, you will have to pull your cards out of their sleeves and flip them over every single time it changes between day and night, and that's super annoying. But on Arena, it's fantastic. I don't have to do any of the tracking, and I don't have to do any of the flipping. This is a set that I think really benefits from being played online. The 4th rare that we were running was Avabruck Caretaker, and it is 4 and 2 green for a 4/4 human werewolf with hexproof that says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on another target you control, and then it transforms into Hollow Henge Huntmaster. It is a 6/6 werewolf with hexproof that says, other permanents you control have hexproof. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. The other wolf/werewolf cards that we are running are Village Messenger, Tenacious Pup, Packsong Pup, Kessig Naturalist, Immerwolf, and Child of the Pack. We then have some removal in the deck in the form of 3 copies of Moonlight Hunt, which is 1 and a green for an instant that says choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf deals damage equal to its power to that creature. We also have 2 copies of Outland Liberator. It's 1 and a green for a 2/2 that says pay 1, sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And the transformed version of the card is Frenzied Trapbreaker, which is a 3/3 werewolf that says pay 1, sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And also, whenever this creature attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. And then finally, I'm running a single copy of Shower of Arrows. It's 2 and a green for an instant that says destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying, scry 1. I am then running a 1-of copy of Ambitious Assault. It's 2 and a red for an instant that says creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. If you control a modified creature, draw a card. For this deck, our modified creatures will be creatures that have +1/+1 counters on them. And the cards that can put counters onto creatures are Tenacious Pup, Packsong Pup, and Avabruck Caretaker. I am also running a singular copy of Tamiyo Safekeeping, 1 green for an instant that says target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, you gain 2 life. Our mana base is pretty simple with 9 mountains, 11 force, and 4 copies of Game Trail. This deck list is actually a really old one for me. When I went and checked my Untapped account, I saw that the last time I played this deck was over 1 year ago, but that could be closer to 2 years. And that's just the last time I played the deck. That's not necessarily the first time that I created the deck. But I played a few games of testing and it seems to be holding up pretty well. If we take a look at my Untapped account with the filter set for current and previous set, you can see that we are currently 4 and 1 with the deck. I played 5 games and only lost 1. That's pretty good, especially for a deck that hasn't been updated in probably 2 years. Anyway, with that said, let's go hop into some matches and see if this deck truly does still hold up. All right, here we are in game number 1. We are going first, and our opening hand looks pretty solid. We have 2 turn 1 plays, and I think I'm going to start with Tenacious Pup. It is 1 green for a 1/2 wolf that says when this creature enters, you gain 1 life. You get a 1-time boon with when you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter, trample counter, and vigilance counter on it. That boon is seen over here. And so now the next creature that we cast will get some additional counters, and I'm just going to play out a Kessig Naturalist. That will now enter as a 3/3 with Trample and Vigilance, and now swing for 1 with our Tenacious Pup, setting our opponent to 19. That was very unfortunate. Our opponent lightning striked our Kessig Naturalist. Kind of a bummer. So here we're just going to play out a Village Messenger. It is a 1-mana 1/1 with haste that says, at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform this creature. It becomes a 2/2 with menace. Swing in for 2 more damage, set our opponent to 17. Our opponent's playing mono red. I think we're in an okay spot. Mono red dragons, a little bit more concerning. I was gonna say, if they're mono red aggro, they've had a pretty slow start, so we should be in a good spot. Yeah, here we're just gonna play out Child of the Pack. It's a 4-mana 2/5. That has an activated ability, pay 4 mana, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. And then the backside is Savage Packmate. It's a 5/5 with trample that says other creatures you control get +1/+0. Our opponent's going to swing 2 Fearsome Whelps at us. We go down to 18. I'm going to drop a mountain. Our opponent has missed a lot of land drops, which is huge for us. But they're getting a lot of cost reduction to any dragon cards that they do have in hand. Luckily, we have a Shower of Arrows, which will be able to destroy a creature with flying. So that's going to be our saving grace. Here I'm just going to play out Immerwolf. It's a 3-mana 2/2 with Intimidate. Intimidate says a creature with Intimidate can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or creatures that share a color with it. More importantly, this says each other creature you control that's a wolf or werewolf gets +1/+1. Non-human werewolves you control can't transform. So the bottom part, non-human werewolves you control can't transform, basically means once our werewolves transforms to their backside and lose the human creature type, they will not transform back. Our opponent just played a Bonehorde Dracosaur. And it doesn't matter what it says because we're going to kill it with Shower of Arrows. We're going to scry 1, and that's game. All right. Solid game 1. And that right there is vindication for that one of Shower of Arrows. We are a very creature-heavy deck, and none of our creatures can block flyers. So I like having this just as a 1-up. All right, here we are in another game. We are going first. We have a forest and a mountain, so hopefully we do not get mana screwed this game. We're just going to start with the turn 1 Tenacious Pup. Our opponent played Case of the Uneaten Feast. Whenever creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. So I'm just going to assume they're mono white life gain. We've drawn into a second mountain, which is concerning. We're going to play out Packsong Pup. We'll get the boon from our Tenacious Pup. We go to combat. Packsong Pup gets an additional +1/+1 counter. Swing for 1, set our opponent to 19. I don't have my deck tracker on. I'm surprised I didn't notice sooner. I normally try to check my deck list over here to see what cards remain in our deck. But I just noticed that we did not have it. Okay, anyway, we're going to play out a Tovolar for turn 3. We swing for 5 damage. We'll get to draw 2 cards thanks to Tovolar. And luckily this game we do hit a second green source. Yeah, I was just about to check the ratios of our mountains and forests. We have 9 mountains and 11 forests. The deck is heavier in green, and this seems like a perfectly fine ratio to me. We're about to get cheesed by our opponent, and it's annoying. They just played Solemnity. They're a Solemnity 9 lives combo. So we're going to swing. Could I have gotten lethal? Can I get lethal? Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, thank God. Ambitious Assault just won us the game. Okay, that was huge. That was super lucky. Our opponent just played Solemnity. They're going to try to play 9 lives, and I don't remember how much mana that is. 9 lives is also a 3-drop, so next turn they would have been able to play it. So my game plan was going to be swing out, get 3 additional draws, and then hope that we find a way to destroy target artifacts or enchantment. But luckily, we had enough damage built up on the board, and thanks to the Ambitious Assault, we were able to get lethal right then and there. That was a very close call. But dude, the one of. That's what I'm talking about. All right, last game I think was game number 4. I believe we went win, loss, loss, win. I believe we played 4 games and went 2-2. But my deck tracker only saw the last game. So I'm going to try to remember that for the final deck stats. We should have 1 additional win and 2 additional losses. I'll try to remember that at the very end. Our opponent's going first. This hand has triple mountain, which is disgusting. Makes you want to vomit. We mulligan, we keep 6, we throw back the Avabruck Caretaker because it is a 6-drop, and we have access to both colors. So now we are chilling. We're going to start with a turn 1 Tenacious Pup and pass. Next turn, we will probably go Village Messenger into Tenacious Pup. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Village Messenger, it will get the boon from Tenacious Pup, and then we will drop another Tenacious Pup. Our opponent played Agent of Rafine. It's 1 blue for a 1/2 human rogue. It says, pay 2, tap this, choose target opponent. Conjure a duplicate of the top card of their library into your hand. It perpetually gains mana of any type, can be spent to cast a spell. Then they exile the top card of their library face down. Gross. I hate that. I hate when opponents steal my cards to use. It's a terrible, terrible feeling. I hate it. It is such a feels bad interaction within the game. All right, well, I think I'm gonna go with Immerwolf here because it will buff our board so that all of our creatures contest their Agent of Rafine. So we can swing in for 7 damage here, set our opponent down to 11. And now we hope they are not running board wipes. That's a Mind Stone, that's not a board wipe. All right, here we're gonna play out a Village Messenger. We will go to combat and we will swing everything. The most he can block is 2 damage, and that's just game, because he wouldn't be able to block Immerwolf due to it having Intimidate, and there's no point in blocking the Village Messenger since it has Trample. No, yeah, if he blocks this, it's still just 2 damage that he's blocking. Same for the Tenacious Pups, and same for the Village Messenger. So he was going to take 10 damage, go down to 1. It was a pretty clean win for us. All right, here we are in another game. We're going first. We have triple force in our hand, so we don't have to worry about getting mana screwed as far as colors. Our opponent's running 61 cards because they really just needed that 1 additional card that's going to make all the difference in their deck. But our opening hand looks pretty good, assuming we don't draw into more lands. We are good. 4 is more than enough. Plus, we have a Kessig Naturalist, which can help give us additional mana as well. Our opponent just played a Secluded Courtyard and chose Eldrazi. That is very suspicious. I am going to play the Outland Liberator and pass. That triggers Daybound. If our opponent does not play any spells during their turn, it will become night. This is very important. I wanted to get the Frenzied Trapbreaker down first because it says whenever it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. Eldrazi decks, they like to ramp using artifacts. So getting that down is massive. I'm going to play out a Tovolar. We will swing, connect for 3, and we'll get an additional draw here. We are in, I think, an amazing position. Opponent plays Matter Reshaper. 3-mana, 3/2. When this dies, reveal top card of your library. You may put that card on the battlefield if it's permanent with mana value 3 or less. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. Okay, I think I'm going to start by using Moonlight Hunt to kill this, and we'll see what they get off the top of their library. Because if it's an artifact, then Frenzied Trapbreaker would be able to destroy it on this attack. They reveal a land, though. It is an Ancient Ziggurat. Okay, it is currently night. This says if a player casts 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day next turn. I just cast 1 spell. I don't want it to become day again. So I'm just going to swing in for 7 here. Set our opponent to 10. We'll get 2 additional draws, and then we'll just end the turn there. Our opponent plays Writhing Chrysalis. They get a 2/3 with reach and 2/0/1 Eldrazi spawn tokens. We just built a deck with this card. That was like 3 episodes ago. All right, I'm trying to think if we have a way to get lethal here. I don't think we do. I could swing just with Tovolar. I could just activate Tovolar's ability. We could give Tovolar Trample. It seems pretty good. How much do I want to pay into it? Oh, I selected X equals 3. I'm stupid. I was going to make X equals 1 for a total of 3 mana. Okay, we're just pumping all of it into Tovolar. Tovolar is now a 7/4. We will swing with both. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. His blockers can't... I was going to say his blockers can't trade with Tovolar. But he can. He can sacrifice his spawns to make the Chrysalis bigger. It is what it is. We connect. We set our opponent down to 5. But they lose both of their Eldrazi spawn tokens at the same time. And at our end step, we have to discard a card. Discard a force. Yeah, but we got to draw 2 cards off of that. They got rid of 2 of their tokens, which were essentially mana dorks. We're still in a decent position. Oh, we're in an amazing position. Our opponent just played Roaming Throne. That is an artifact creature. We can kill that with Shower of Arrows. So we're definitely going to do that. It does have Ward 2, which is annoying. So I need to decide here if I want to play Tenacious Pup or Village Messenger. I think I want to play the Tenacious Pup. Kill the Roaming Throne. Ambitious Assault. I will keep that on top. I will play out Tenacious Pup. And I will say no attacks. Our opponent plays Snapping Voidcraw. 3-mana, 1/3. Mana Dork. And they play Thief of Existence. It's 3-mana, 3/4. When you cast a spell, exile up to 1 target non-creature, non-land permanent, and opponent controls with mana value 4 or less. If you do, this gains whenever this creature leaves the battlefield, target opponent draws a card. Joke's on them. Our deck only has creatures as permanents. Okay, we're just going to go super wide here. As wide as we can go. We'll play out Kessig Naturalist, and Packsong Pup. We're going to say no attacks. Next turn, we can drop Village Messenger, which has haste. And then we can buff our whole board with Ambitious Assault, and that hopefully will be lethal. Hopefully this last card in their hand isn't something horrifying. It's Titan's Vanguard. It buffs their whole board. It's a little bit concerning. Our opponent's down to 5 life. Are any of these artifacts? They are not. Okay. Ambitious Assault does not give Trample, which is unfortunate. But we should be able to trade with a lot of their board. All right, we go to combat. Let's see how he blocks. He's using his Titan's Vanguard to block our Kessig Naturalist, and that's really good for us because we're going to be able to kill the Vanguard. His Thief of Existence will survive. This is Oh, but we still have 6 damage that's going to connect. That's lethal. That's game. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And we had even drawn an additional card off of the Ambitious Assault because we controlled a modified creature thanks to the boons from our Tenacious Pups. The synergy. And also the one of. Actually, 2 of our one ofs were relevant in that match. Shower of Arrows and Ambitious Assault. That was a good game. It was a good final game. Yeah, I'm proud of the deck. It's been doing well. All right, guys, here we are on my untapped account. You can see that the deck is listed as being 7-1 with an 88% win rate. However, my deck tracker was not recording for 3 of the games. We had 1 additional win and 2 additional losses, which puts the deck at 8-3, which is a 72% win rate. But that's still pretty solid. 72%, pretty good. Yeah, I like this deck. It's not super complex, really. You're just playing out a bunch of wolves / werewolves on curve to the best of your ability. And just trying to, you know, beat down your opponent's face. Tracking the daybound and nightbound throughout the duration of a match would normally be very annoying, but again, Arena does it for you. And also, if you do want or think you might need to play around it, there is just a little button over in the bottom left corner that you can just hover over as a reminder to see how the day and night mechanic works. So it's not like you have to memorize it or anything. Nice and convenient on the screen for you. But that is gonna wrap things up. So if you guys liked the video, you should like the video. If you liked me, the video, and you like Magic the Gathering, you should consider subscribing to the channel. And I'm gonna leave a copy of this deck list down in the description because I almost forgot that part. And with that said, I will see you guys tomorrow.